We're scientists and engineers working on NASA's Perseverance rover and Ingenuity helicopter that just landed on Mars. Ask us anything.
Will there be video taken of Ingenuity's flight on Mars? Edit. If anyone hasn't seen it yet, here is the official NASA video of Perseverance's descent. It is absolutely breathtaking.
Perseverance's Mastcam Z and navigation cameras will attempt to take images and possibly video of Ingenuity's flight. GT.
What is the best place to access the images, videos, and/or data sent back from Perseverance? Is there a dedicated web page or portal that is accessible to the public?
Absolutely. All the raw images are being released here. Post-processing images products are starting to appear on /Mars 2020 multimedia page, /Edcam video, /audio, /NASA photojournal, /ha.
Will Perseverance sing itself a song on its birthday?
Curiosity was able to sing itself a birthday song on its birthday by vibrating tubes within the SAM sample analysis at Mars. I was actually on shift for Curiosity on the day we sent the commands to play the happy birthday song. Perseverance brought a new set of instruments to Mars, and the instrument suite does not contain SAM, so I don't think we will be able to play any kind of song. However, our surface operations team is quite a creative and smart group of people, so they may be able to figure out something special to do for Percy's first birthday. ML.
How long do you hope/expect Perseverance to run for?
The Perseverance power source is an RTG, radioisotope thermoelectric generator, that can last anywhere from 10 to 15 years. However, there are other elements of the rover, electronics, mechanisms, that may not last as long, but given the longevity we've seen in previous missions, we hope Percy keeps the tradition alive of outliving expectations. ML.
Are there types of microbial life you are expecting to find? How do you target where to land?
When we think about life detection on Mars, or anywhere in our solar system, the first step is to use our knowledge of life on Earth as a way to look for life as we know it. In this case, we are looking for signs of past life that could have lived environments on early Mars, and are using early Earth environments as analogies. So the rover will be looking for the types of rocks that we know are good to preserve these types of fossils on the early Earth, and collecting samples of these rocks for return. Of course, we are also interested in thinking about life as we don't know it, and so are keeping our minds open to what we think of as agnostic biosignatures for microbial life. LH. Nina here. Great question. The process of selecting a landing site begins years before we land. We have a series of meetings in which anyone in the Mars community, and sometimes beyond, may propose a landing site using currently available data, usually from orbiting spacecraft that are already on Mars. They give a presentation explaining why the proposed landing site can address the key mission goals. So for Perseverance, we wanted to identify a place that could plausibly have been habitable, that is, a place where life as we currently understand it could have existed, and a place that could preserve evidence of past microbial life had it been present. Jezero is a fantastic place in which to look for both of these things because we believe it once was host to a long-lasting lake. Even more exciting is that there's a preserved delta deposit, which on Earth is an awesome /place in which to persevere biosignatures. Jezero crater has been studied from afar for many years, and it rose to the top during our team discussions as a great place in which to answer our top questions. NLL.
How are the bridles separated between the sky crane and the rover? Was there redundancies in place if the initial separation between descent and rover failed?
At the end of the sky crane maneuver, the bridles that are connecting the descent stage and rover are separated when we command pyrotechnics to initiate a guillotine-like device that cut the cables. ML.
Why did the EDL system bank left instead of right? Seems like it banked away from the edge of the delta, when it could have easily banked right and landed in the flat area near the delta that seemed more landing friendly and closer to your target.
The EDL team is still reviewing the data we got back, and have not come to a firm conclusion about why TRN chose the leftward divert option instead of the rightward. When watching the RDC footage, we were all surprised at how close we came to the friendly terrain under the big cliff that we've generally referred to as the landing strip, but then chose to go elsewhere. I'm sure TRN had its reasons, but we're still trying to gain a better understanding about what went into that onboard decision. We have picked up some clues so far. For example, it seems like there was some wind pushing the vehicle toward the east, to the left, while hanging on the chute.
What's the next step if signs of microbial life are identified at some stage, by Percy, or a later mission? Would you ever consider bringing a sample of them home to Earth?
It would be wonderful to find signs of microbial life either by the Perseverance rover itself, or as part of the analyses that we hope to do with samples that we are collecting and planning to bring back to Earth. Through looking for the earliest signs of life here on Earth, we know that one of the most important things in looking for biosignatures is understanding the context, so that we are sure that signal we are looking at is actually created by life and not some non-life process. So the first step if we detected signs of microbial life would be to look for additional information to understand whether the samples we are looking for are actually what we think they are.
Hi NASA. How did you program the rover, having in mind that it has to operate on its own? Did you use machine learning? I'm studying programming and would like to work for NASA in the future. Keep up the good work.
Once the rover is on the surface of Mars, we only communicate with it during a handful of orbiter overflights during the day, so we have to give Perseverance 24 hours worth of commands to execute, and then she sends back information about how that day of commanding went. However, we are able to add some additional smarts to the system so it can make some decisions. For example, we have smart driving capabilities where we can provide Percy with a destination and allow her to find her own route there. We call this thinking while driving. ML.
This is a pretty broad question, but do you have any expectations for what you might discover? Or to put it another way, do you think you'll be surprised by what you find? The video/photos/audio are incredible. Thanks for doing what you do.
Nina here. One thing we can be sure of is that Mars has lots of surprises in store for us. Just when we think we know everything, Mars shows us something we never imagined. At Jezero, we have an opportunity to learn about a lot of different aspects of Mars, about the ancient environment as seen in the basement rocks in the crater, about the long-lasting lake system that followed it, and maybe if we're exceedingly lucky, whether microbes ever existed on Mars. But of course, there are more things in Mars than are dreamt of in our philosophy, and that's why I love discovery science. NLL.
When the rover drops samples for pickup later, will it drop them all in the same spot, and how is that determined?
Multiple samples, collected at different times, will be dropped into at the same place, what we are calling a cache. Where this cache will be, whether all samples will be deposited in a single cache or in multiple caches, and how many caches there might be are all dependent on what we find in the rocks that we find as we explore the surface, and our understanding of how easy it will be for the rover coming to pick up the samples. LH.
Any chance you could confirm or refute this tweet? Some folks are pointing out that the colors are backwards on the J.
The answer is not JPL, but good guess. Keep trying /N.
Perseverance will drill chalk-sized samples of soil/rocks and leave them behind for a future mission to collect. How do they ensure the samples do not get swept away in dust devils or storms?
Nina here. While we all remember how Mark Watney was stranded on Mars, it turns out that the Martian wind is not all that powerful. The atmosphere is much less dense than Earth's. The average atmospheric pressure on Mars is /6 bar pressure as compared to Earth's 1 bar pressure at sea level. So even when the Martian wind is howling along at high speeds, there aren't a lot of air molecules available to do work. This means that Mars wind can't carry or even move heavy things like sample tubes, comms equipment, or even sand. Most wind-borne dust on Mars is really small, on the order of microns, for this reason. So I feel confident that our samples will be right where we left them, if slightly dustier. NLL.
May your day be filled with joy and happiness. And please remember to like, share, and subscribe for more quality content every day.